off? Is there anything that I should just me start at the top or pick it up from somewhere particular?
You know what? Pick it up from where you want. It's okay. Let's hear it from your perspective.
All right. Well, and what I'll do is, I just kind of tell you my story, how I got involved with this, the opportunity that's in front of you, where this is headed. And, and really all we're doing is sharing some information. I always treat this like it's a pair of shoes. You got to try them on, see if they fit. And if they fit, we'll go for a walk. And if they don't, hey, thanks for trying them on. That's the type of thing that my approach to this business and how we do this. But I tell you in the beginning, like you said, I got to be one of the original investors. That's how I found out about, Lifeline Therapeutics at the time and Lifevantage and everything else. And it came from my father-in-law was a friend of an angel investor. And he, he was like, look, check out this information and see if this is legit, because I'm about to put a bunch of money into this Dr. McCord. And so I got to see one of the early business plans back in 2002. And for Bill, for vetting the company and to determine it was a good investment, got to actually get his kind of foot in the door on the initial IPO. So that's how, through my father-in-law, we got to be some of the initial investors in this way back in 2002. When it was meant to be a traditional retail company, the product was sold at GNC and CVS, and it was a crazy story since then. What got my attention with this was Dr. McCord. He won the Elliott Crescent Medal, which was also won by Alexander Graham Bell, the Wright brothers, Henry Ford, Madame Curie, Tesla, some pretty significant scientists and inventors in our time. And Dr. McCord's in this type of circle for his work in microbiology. And what he was able to do was recognize that we could activate the body. And that's something that I like to talk about. Lifevantage does a little bit different. Is we're always having a little bit different conversation. It's a little bit different than everybody else. Where everybody else is talking about supplementation, we talk about activation. And it's a development in technology. 20 years ago, everybody was taking these pharmaceuticals, right? Everything, there was a super pill that fixed about anything. And now we learned over time that a lot of times those super pills, cause another problem. You have to take another pill, and then cause another problem. You take another pill. And so the shift then came to going more natural, right? Let's use supplements and let's get the body the nutrition and things it needs so it can do the things it used to do. And there's that conversation of supplementation. Well, now there's a new conversation called activation. Rather than supplement the body, let's get the body to do and act like it used to do by activating it, by getting your body to act like it was 20 again. And so this largely came about when Dr. McCord had developed this product, 5 natural ingredients called Protandim. And what it is a Nerf2 activator. This is a different than supplementation. It's different than taking vitamins and things. And the way I like to describe it, well, what Dr. McCord, what he figured out was our body, and we've known this for a long time, our body produces these enzymes. I like to call them the garbage men of the body. Their jobs to take out the trash. And we produce them when we're young, and as we get older, it's like a dimmer switch turning down your body. So as you get older, you produce less and less of these enzymes, It's just a dimmer switch that turns down as we get older. And as a result of making those garbage men, the trash starts to build up in our body. This is our oxidative stress. And the oxidative stress in your body, they can actually measure it and then tell you how old you are based on that measurement. A pretty crazy thing. And the reason you've never had this measurement is because there's nothing they could ever do about it. But what McCord figured out is a way we could activate the body, get it to produce enzymes the way it did when we were 20. And then to get more garbage men in the body, they start taking out the trash. Your oxidative stress drops to the level of a 20-year-old. And that was a big step. That was something that the scientific community, when he produced his paper saying he could do this, everybody was like, wait a minute, so it went under extreme investigation. And actually now, to make a long story short, we have now over 20 universities that have studied this process and validated it. And so here's where the conversation is different. We're in supplementation. It's like if the office building is on fire, supplementation is pulling up in the fire truck and throwing water on the outside of the building. And the conversation is always, well, we've got a bigger fire truck, well, we've got better water, or we have a better delivery system. It's all arguments about that stuff. Well, what Lifevantage does, it pulls up in the parking lot. It doesn't have a fire truck or any water. It just pulls up and it runs inside the burning building and turns up the sprinkler system. It gets the body to do what it's designed to do. And that's the best way to put out the fire. And so where everybody else is talking about supplementation, we're talking about activation, this activating of the NRF2 pathway. And now we've expanded our product line over the years and can activate the NRF1 pathway, which has other incredible benefits for our body. We have a weight management system that where everybody else is talking about weight loss, we're talking about instead of losing weight, let's just lose inches. Let's keep the lean muscle mass, right? Let's do it healthy and in a healthy fashion. We have an energy drink, whereas everybody else is talking about an energy drink. I like to call ours a focus drink because I don't want just energy, just raw bouncing around, you know, vibrating like a squirrel type of energy. I want good, focused mental clarity so I can go get what I need to get done today. And this is healthy for us. My kids drink it because I'd rather them drink this than drink Kool-Aid, right? Or pop or anything else. So like I said, this company, Lifevantage, is always having a different conversation. It's always a little bit more advanced, a little bit ahead of the game as far as where everybody's talking about X and we're talking about Y. So the group of products that we have and the things we have are incredible. I mentioned the universities. The one university, University of Washington, just recently, the scientists in that university published in their journal and said that, and this isn't our words, and we didn't pay these guys. They did this money with their own university money. They studied our product and said this is quite possibly the most significant scientific breakthrough in the history of medicine. I'll say that again. The professor at the University of Washington, the doctor there, said this is quite possibly the most significant scientific breakthrough in the history of medicine. Doesn't that sound like something you need to know more about? Doesn't it sound like something you probably should be taking for $40 a month that's all natural and has no pharmaceutical contraindications? Sounds like something you could have your family on, right? Well, you should. There's just no two ways about it. If you're spending $40 a month on your health, you should be taking this product first and then also investigating the other products that this company has to offer. And so when you're looking at these types of things, when I looked at this business in the very beginning, there's 5 different things that I looked at. And there's 5 criteria I've looked at any business decision because, and when this came up, I was investigating the products. I found out that the products checked out, 100%. So much so that I think a lot of you have seen the ABC primetime video with the investigative report. Again, validated that Lifevantage is doing what it says it does. John Canillas took a blood test on national television and his oxidative stress dropped by 20%. Okay, over 20 universities that studied this that are peer-reviewed studies. So this is not 8 out of 9 digits agree type of thing. This is real science. And so there's really no refuting it, or it's not on trial, right? It's the products do what we say, everybody needs it, and it handles the key component to over 250 age-related diseases. Okay, that's the government's words that's written in our patent. We have 6 international patents on this, which begs the question of, Scott, all right, this is so great, right? If these products do all these wonderful things, and I need to be taking them and taking a look at this, then why didn't my doctor tell me about this, right? Why am I hearing it from some guy that's, late to a webinar that sounds like Elvis, right? And the reason is because your doctor doesn't know about it yet. See, Big Pharma tried to buy this, and they couldn't. Dr. McCord wouldn't sell it to him. He knew if he sold to Big Pharma, they would buy the rights to it and stick it in a file cabinet, and we'd never get it. He wasn't going to let that happen. So as a result, we were a tiny little company back in 2002 and couldn't afford the proper advertising to let you know about it. It was sold at GNC and CVS, and you could walk into GNC and ask for it. Because back when I did, and the guy didn't even know what I was talking about. There was no category of nutrigenomic where you could walk over and see Protandim, right? They stuck it in some corner because it didn't fit in any category that currently existed. Our technology was so new that it's hard to be first to market, but that's also best to be first to market. We switched our business model from retail to network marketing, okay? And before you go all crazy about network marketing and the connotations around that, that's one of the things that really makes us different is that we were a retail product for 5 years before it switched into network marketing. That's different than most network marketing products because most of them are a product first or a network marketing opportunity first, and then they go out and find a product and jam it into their marketing system. So that's one of the first things that makes us a little bit different. So this switched to network marketing in 2009. And in 2009, we had just had 3 kids in 4 years. Okay, life was a little crazy around my house. I was working, I just closed a year or 2 earlier, I'd closed my medical supply company and was working for somebody else. And I had 3 little projects at home. I wasn't looking to start a new project. But when I saw this and I believed in the product, you know, and the scientists and the science behind this, and that it blew me away. I knew that there was a business opportunity to go with this. And now I get the chance not to just be in it just as an investor, but actually partake and be a distributor. And we were the first distributors in the entire Midwest. I've never done network marketing before. And my wife had done some Mary Kay. And we had some decent success in Mary Kay, but this is a very different animal. One of the things I like about it most is that, you know, a Mary Kay, she had $4,000 worth of pink boxes sitting in my basement, right? Right now, I'm running a $12 million business, and my whole business fits in an armoire that's on in my desk. I don't drive around a tandem truck. I don't have a garage full of product. I don't have all the trappings of normal business. Okay, what's cool about network marketing is you get to be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. So you get to go do the fun part, which is tell people about a wonderful product, help share the word, train up new leaders, and all the taxes and inventory and legal stuff and all that other, you know, the not fun parts of business gets handled by somebody else. So with this, you know, you get a chance to create residual income. Okay, and I always like to take a minute to explain what residual income is, because a lot of people don't get it. They've only worked for linear income. Linear income is when you show up for work, you put in your time, at the end of the week, they give you a paycheck, and you're trading time for money. The more you work, the more you get paid, right? Most of the time. You know, my first job as an engineer, I was a salary employee. So I made a paycheck, and it didn't matter how much time I put in. And I quickly found that I didn't like that, you know, and then being a part of corporate America, you've got your pay code, and that's all the more you're going to make until you get a promotion or do something like that. And I got tired of corporate America. Okay, I got out of corporate America, and I went into sales, and I went into straight commission sales, because I thought this is my way. You know, and as a salary employee or an hourly employee, you only get paid when you're running the hamster wheel, right? And when you get off, the wheel stops and you stop making money. Well, as a straight commission sales, if I ran faster, I made more money. And that was great for a while until I realized that every year, you know, GE was shrinking my territory and raising my bar to get the same amount of commissions. So I had to run the wheel faster and faster every single year. And so I thought I'd get smarter and I'd start my own business. And what I found is when you own your own business, you never get off the hamster wheel, right? You run it 24/7 because you're the only hamster you got. And I found a smarter way. This way through network marketing, there is actually a way you can run the hamster wheel, and it takes a couple years of running the hamster wheel, but then you can get off the hamster wheel and it keeps going by yourself on its own, okay? And a wonderful example of that is just here recently. I do a lot of water sports, and I was doing a wakeboarding behind my ski boat, had a great big jump and a really bad landing. And in the landing, I had 5 breaks in my leg, blew out my ACL meniscus. Then I had a skin condition thing after that. So basically I was on the couch from September of last year up until about 2 months ago, and had 5 surgeries. I was stuck on the couch, and I kept thinking to myself, man, what if I'd had been in engineering? What if I'd had that old sales job? What if I was running my own company? How could I run it from my couch? Because they wouldn't, you know, they almost lost my leg, and they got real complicated, and they wouldn't let me move. They just wouldn't let me do anything. But thank goodness that I started Lifevantage and built up this residual income, so that hamster wheel was spinning without me. And on the 15th of every month for 6 months, well, almost 6 months, I was on the couch, and that paycheck showed up on the 15th. So it's an extra added insurance that, because here's what I love about the company is when people are like, well, Scott, there's no sexiness to this product. It's just a little boring yellow pill, right? And you take it, and you know it's not the latest greatest fad. You know, people aren't into this stuff. I'm like, I love that. I love it because it means when I get a customer, it's because they're taking it because they understand the health benefits of this, and they're never going to get off of it. And the fact that we got 6 international patents just means that they're going to keep taking it every single day. And they're not in the business. 80% of the people in my organization are not in this to make money. They just love taking the product. So as long as they keep taking the product, I keep getting a paycheck. And it's a win-win. And it's very cool because even with you, right, Tanya, if you know you won the lottery tomorrow and no longer had a need for money, you would still take your product no matter what. And that's the way all my team feels, so that once you get those people taking the product, you don't have to go resell them. You don't have to, you know, say, you know, like a Mary Kay, you know, fall colors would come out so that my wife would have to go back and call all of our customers and get them to buy the new, you know, pumpkin lipstick or whatever. And you don't have to do that in this business. You get a customer once, you got them for life, and it just keeps building after that. So that's the magic of residual income, and the way our comp plan is structured. What I'll say about that is that there's an income disclosure statement, and you need to make sure the person that invited you on the call gives you this. And I want you to look at the income disclosure statement and look on there how much money people are making. Okay, we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ, so it's governed by the SEC. It has to be right to the penny, and you can look and see what different ranks are making in this company. And if you decide you want to do a little bit of work and make a couple $100s a month, that's very easy and feasible to do. If you want to do a little bit more work and make a couple $1,000s a month, you can do that as well. If you decide you're tired of your old job the way I was and you want to make tens of thousands of dollars or more, that's available for you as well. And you can see exactly what rank you need to get to make the money that you need to do this business. And the person that invited you can put you on the phone with somebody that makes that amount of money now. And you can ask them how much work it was, what's the real deal, how that is, okay? But one of the neat things that you'll see when you look at that is our middle ranks. The Pro 4s, 5s, 6s are making some decent money. A Pro 4 is doing $10,000 a month in sales. Okay, at $10,000 a month, you're making about $500 to $600 a month. Okay, that's like getting a $6,000 raise. So think about it, $6,000. Go to your boss tomorrow or after lunch here, and just go up and ask them, say, hey, what would I have to do to get a $6,000 raise in my job? Right? I mean, it's kind of laughable, right? It's even the fact of getting a raise. They say now the new raise is just keeping your job. So here's a chance that I've had been able to coach people that can get to the rank of Pro 4 and give themselves a $6,000 raise. Okay, so it's a very powerful comp plan that really pays off the middle ranks. So we have a middle class in our organization. Most network marketing have the rich people at the top and all the poor people at the bottom scrambling trying to get to the top. But you'll find ours has a middle class for people that just want to make $200, $300, $500 a month. Okay, or the sky's the limit. As an elite distributor, that's somebody doing 100,000 or more a month in sales. You actually get to participate in the profit sharing of the company. Okay, so the profit sharing is where they take the top ranks for the 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s, and they put them in a profit sharing circle, and you get a percentage of the total sales globally of the company. Okay, so as a Pro 9 in the organization, I get to partake in 3% of that global sales volume. So what that tells you is I get paid on every single bottle of Pro Tandem, every single Lifevantage product. It doesn't matter if it's in my downline or my team or not. I get paid on everybody's. All of Lifevantage is on my team. So that does two things. It really creates the right culture so that the leaders in this business will help other leaders in the business. For example, I agreed to do this webinar. There's not a single one of my teammates on here. And I've been out and trained in your territories and your areas where I don't have a team, because if you're in Lifevantage, you're on my team. It doesn't have to be in my direct downline. So it really tweaks the culture that you'll see in our network marketing company versus what you'll see in a lot of other network marketing companies. And it also means that you get paid on every single bottle. So imagine if I told you you get paid on every single bottle of Coca-Cola that was sold today, right? Would you sign up for that opportunity? Yeah, of course you would, right? Who wouldn't? Imagine getting paid on every single bottle of Coca-Cola sold in the whole world. Well, we're going to be just as big as Coca-Cola, and you're going to have the opportunity to make a little piece of every single product Lifevantage sells. And let me tell you, it's going places fast. So that'll be the next thing that I want to tell you about is I've been able to make some money. Tiny's made some money. People have had success in Lifevantage, but the real question is, can you have success, right? How do we teach you how to do this? Maybe you're sitting there thinking, I'm not good at sales, or I can't do sales. Well, we don't want salespeople. In fact, I had to unlearn a lot of bad habits coming from sales. And every time I get a salesperson, I have to really untrain them, okay? Because we're not trying to sell the business in this case, or the products. All we're doing is sharing information. And like I said, you try the shoe on and see if it fits. Now, sales is when the shoe doesn't fit and I get you to buy it anyway, right? That's what sales is. But in this one, if the shoe doesn't fit, thank you for looking. We'll find somebody else. All right, because we've got an opportunity here to help people with their health. You've got an opportunity to be a part of something a little bit bigger, right? And that's exactly what we're doing. We've got a culture to teach you how to do this. In fact, in a lot of the cities across the United States, like just this Saturday, I was up in Cleveland, and I was taught a 4-hour training up in Cleveland to the people in Lifevantage in Cleveland, all over the board. And we've got a training near you that you can plug into and teach you exactly how to do this business. And because of the culture of the profit sharing, like I said, there are no secrets. Excuse me, I want every single person to do well in this business. so that everybody, Lifevantage does well. Okay, that's what we're after. So we do have a training system, and we've got, as far as technology goes, we are just on the cutting edge forefront on what we're doing with our phone apps to help people get signed up, to help people get trained. Even if you sign somebody up and you've only been in this a week, you can plug them into a phone app that tells them what to do every single day. So you got the training right there on their smartphone, and you don't have to be that person. You don't have to be the expert that's trying to train them. Because when I signed up, I was trying to train people, and I had no idea what I was doing. Right? So we were all fumbling through this together. But now we've got experts right here on our phone that tell us exactly how to build this business. And speaking of experts, we just partnered up with John Maxwell and signed a contract with him to train all of our leadership. John Maxwell is the #1 leadership coach in the entire world. All right, he trains dignitaries and presidents and people all over the world. And he is aligned with Lifevantage and is training our leadership here for the next year. So what an opportunity to get involved in a company that's being trained by the very, very best. Okay, so the very last point I'm going to make on this is something that is the most important part. Okay, because as I evaluated this, opportunity, and I'm sure you're evaluating it, you got to first look at the product. Okay, check the product checks out. Right, you can't argue with the American Heart Association. Right, you can't argue with LSU and Harvard Medical and all the scientists at University of Washington. So the second thing is the company and the culture. With the culture and the leadership and the CEO that we have in Darren, that's got over 20 years of network marketing experience, that was a checkbox for me too. The third thing was the money. Can I make money in this opportunity? And when you see the income disclosure statement, you'll see how simple it is to make money. Now, I didn't say easy. Okay, this is not a get rich quick thing. No matter what Tanya told you, it doesn't mean this is going to be, you're not going to be rich here in 6 weeks. But if you'll put the money into it, or not the money, if you'll put the time into it and you'll stick with this and treat it like a business, it will pay you like a business and it's really just set you free. Okay, so the next part was the system. Okay, can we teach you how to do this? And absolutely, that box was checked. We can teach you how to do this. We've had a lot of success in Lifevantage, and we've got one of the top training programs in the industry. So the last thing, the number 5, that's the most important thing really, is the timing. Where do we stand? Because honestly, Amway has all those things, right? It's got great products. It's got a great culture. It's got all those things, except for everybody knows about it. The timing's bad, right? And you don't want to come in after everybody knows about what's going on. Those of you on this call, you never heard of Lifevantage before. All right, so that's got to tell you something. How could something this great and you haven't even heard about it yet? Neither have your friends. The timing on this opportunity is once in a lifetime for you to get in first. And you might be looking at me because I get this question a lot. They're like, Scott, well, you got in, 5-6 years ago. And I missed the boat, right? Because if I'd have gotten in when you get in, then I would have been, golden. Well, actually, I got in at the very, very, very beginning. And that's not the best time to get in because that's when there's just a few people doing all the work, right? And so now the company has grown. We're a $200 million company, and we're about to go to an $800 million company. And the people that go along this ride with us are going to capture the marketplace, leading the way with this Nerf2 technology, with this nutrigenomics that nobody's even heard of yet. Like I said, GNC doesn't even have the category in their store. But I'm telling you, 10 years from now, it's going to be the only category in the store. There's going to be the only products that matter. So this is your chance to get on something before anybody else knows about it. And lock arms with successful leaders that are on this call and that are on this team to teach you exactly how to do this business. Okay, so our market penetration is almost none. All right, we've got everything you need to have as much success as you want in your business. So I'm just going to ask you this. You got on this call for a reason. Okay, there's something not in your life the perfect way that you want it. Or maybe you're just that entrepreneurial guy that's always looking for the next big thing. All right, and so you're on this call and you're looking. And I got to tell you, I was looking. Well, actually, I wasn't even looking back in 2009 when I signed up for this. But when I saw the opportunity, I knew it was something I couldn't pass up on. And thank goodness I didn't. Okay, and I didn't get rich fast. It took me about 1.5 years to even figure out what I was doing. And I started to get good at network marketing. And it was about 2 years into this that I ended up quitting my 6-figure job. I was in medical sales, making 6 figures, and started doing this full time. And when I did, my boss was laughing at me. And he said, I don't think you thought this through. He's like, you got 3 little kids? It's 2010, it's the December 2010. He's like, the economy's awful. And if this didn't work out, I can't hire you back. And I knew I had to put all my eggs in the Lifevantage basket and go with this 100%. And I'm so glad that I did, and I'm so glad that I started out a year and a half earlier and figured out what I was doing and stuck with it, because after I quit, 4 months later, he got fired and they closed the Indianapolis operations of that company. So I think about, and my coworkers at the time were like, did you know this was coming? You know, did you see the writing on the wall? And I'm like, no, I never saw this coming, but I just had created a safety net. I had created a plan B that became my plan A. And, there's a saying that goes, you dig the well before you're thirsty. And I think that's so important, because, man, if I'd have been in 2011, right after Christmas, with 3 little kids and a bad economy, trying to make ends meet, who knows what would have happened. But Lifevantage was there for me, and it's been for me then again when I got hurt here this year. I had to spend, 5 months on my back. It was there for me again. So you got invited to this party for some reason. You got a chance. You got a ticket to the lottery. But you got to scratch the ticket. You're going to have to sign up. You're going to have to do the work. And you have to join this wonderful team and come have a ton of fun with us. Because we've traveled the world. We go to awesome places. And honestly, it wouldn't even matter if we went to Peoria, Illinois. We would have a blast because of the Lifevantage family that were there. And we'd love to have you as a part of this family, teach you how to do this business, and set you free and help you out with whatever it is that you're on the call to change. All right. Is there anything else, Tanya?
I don't think so. Thank you so much, Scott. I always appreciate, you're just so sincere and raw, and anyone that listens to you can trust you. So I just appreciate everything. You said so many great lines. You can get the lottery ticket, but you got to scratch it. You got to scratch a lottery ticket if you want this to work for you, right, guys? And we have more of these coming, leaders just like Scott. So I suggest listening to them. I know you're all so excited right now. If you are a guest and you're not sure where you're at, answer that phone when your friend calls you back. Pick up the phone, do yourself a favor, and let them know where you're at. Because if you're looking for more information, they're going to be able to guide you accordingly and get you what you need, because you don't want to miss this. So I thank you all for coming on. Scott, thank you so much for your time today, and I'm glad you're feeling better. It's great to see you.
Thanks. And I apologize for being late. Like I said, I messed up the time zones, and I'm glad I was able to get on here.
I am too. Thanks so much. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.